I've been asked on many occasions to discuss the Nintendo NX, and for the most part, I refused to talk about it purely because we didn't have enough information on the thing. While I will be talking about it in this video, no doubt I'll cover all of my thoughts in a much larger game rant when we get more information from Nintendo themselves. For now though, there is some news worth discussing. Before we dive in, keep in mind that this is just a rumor and not yet confirmed by Nintendo. I'm discussing it purely for the sake of YouTube journalism and all that jazz. And when I'm going through the information and stating it in more of a factual manner, it's not because I necessarily believe it. It would just sound stupid for me to constantly be going, it's rumored or supposedly every line. The Wall Street Journal first reported on this news, which has naturally spread like wildfire in the gaming community. The basics of this rumor regarding the NX is that development kits are already being distributed to third parties. And with this information, the design of the system is coming out as well, and some of the information corroborates that Nintendo Fusion leak back in 2014. The kit comes with a console and at least one mobile unit that can be used, quote, in conjunction with a console or taken on the road for separate use. Nintendo also intend to include industry-leading chips in the NX devices, though knowing Nintendo, I'm somewhat skeptical about that. To wrap up the article, David Gibson, who is an analyst for the Wall Street Journal, said, "We are increasingly of the idea that Nintendo might launch the NX in 2016 because of the softness of the 3DS and Wii U. We already know Nintendo is going to talk about the system at E3 next year, and in terms of 2016 releases from Nintendo, we kind of know jack shit, so this may be a possibility." First and foremost, let's talk about that release window. I'll say this right now, if the thing comes out in 2016, I'm not going to be pleased. I bought my Wii U in mid-2014, and I'd kinda like it if I got at least 4 years out of the console. And by the way, if any of you are gonna say I bought into it too late or something, and therefore I should expect this, I bet you didn't buy your PS3 or 360 at launch. It's statistically impossible that all of you could have, but that's somewhat beside the point. I feel like cutting a generation short because one system is struggling is just a bad idea for both the company that does it and the consumers they already have. It's a slap in the face to the people who bought into the system and have actually monetarily supported you in favor of pandering to a crowd who may still not even give a crap about your product. And think about how hard it would be to garner an install base on a console that, at launch, will obviously have comparatively fewer games than the competition. The PS4 and Xbox One already have a library, a woefully thin exclusive library, no doubt, but they do have a library. The NX won't when it comes out, and combined with the fact that the PS4 and the Xbox One already have a combined install base of 40 million, it just strikes me as a really piss poor idea. The one saving grace though could be the specifications, though this would still be no guarantee. If the NX is as powerful or less powerful than the PS4, it'll be dead on arrival, guaranteed. If it is more powerful, it really has to be more powerful. I'm talking future-proofed, more so than the PS4 and Xbox One were at launch, to where it could feasibly survive into the next generation. I don't think this would be particularly hard. We already know this generation is going to be shorter than the last one, so all it would need is an additional few years of future-proofing, and releasing in 2016 might work, though that's still a big might. And I'm skeptical that would be the case if the console does indeed come with a mobile unit. Could be the same issue as the Wii U, where unnecessary hardware inflates the price and doesn't allow for more powerful hardware to be put into the actual console itself. And that could potentially make it harder for third parties to jump on board if they've got to be thinking about a mobile unit too. This same problem happened with the Wii U gamepad, and I don't want to see Nintendo making the same mistakes again. They need that third party support. The Wii U proves that, and I'm hoping they're gonna get it. Articles have already stated that the third parties are looking positively at the NX, and that's good news for Nintendo, and I hope it turns out to be true. But they made claims about third party corroborations before. This is all still very much speculative, and I'm not sure I necessarily believe all of it, but if this information did turn out to be true, I'd have some very justified concerns about the system. I'm hoping we'll hear more from Nintendo themselves soon.